Tutorial for Skinny Man Level Creator, starting at version 0.3.0, game version 0.10.0. The first thing you will notice when you open the level creator is this new window that pops up. This is the toolbox window, and we will be extensively using it later. For now, we will be focusing on the main window. On the main menu of the level creator, the name of the current author is displayed in the top left corner. The default value of this can be configured in settings. However, it can also be changed while on this screen. The top two buttons on this screen refer to creating and loading levels, while the bottom buttons do the same for blueprints. This tutorial will be focusing on the level side of things, but making blueprints is a very similar process. Once you have created or loaded your level, you will end up on this screen. This is the level overview. By default, it will contain 3 items. These are logic boards, which are covered in the separate logic tutorial. On the screen, you will also find buttons to save the level, exit back to the main game, edit level components, add new components, and of course a link back to this video. To add things to a level, you first need to press the plus button. On this page you have 3 options: 2D stages, 3D stages, and sounds. First, we will quickly go over sounds. The first thing you need to do for sounds is choose an in-level name for the sound. Then you will need to choose the file. When you click this button, an operating system specific file choosing window will open. Right now the game only supports audio in the form of WAV, AIF, and MP3 files. After that, you'll need to choose whether the sound will be played under the sound or narration volume. Once done, click on Create and you'll be taken back to the overview. Stages are comparatively simple to create. Just select what type you want, enter a name, and press Create. Now that we have successfully created a stage, let's circle back to the toolbox and explain what everything does. Across the top, you will see buttons for the different tabs of the toolbox. Each one provides a different service. The Color/Depth tab contains a color selector. Wow, how revolutionary. These sliders can be used to change the color that is currently going to be used while adding new things to the stage. This box down at the bottom handles saved colors. You can click inside this square to change the current color to the one shown. The arrows can be used to switch which color is selected, and the Save Color button can be used to add the current color to the list of saved colors. We will come back to the other functionality of this tab later. The Tools tab is the most important tab for building a level. The tools here can be divided into 4 categories: Tools, Draggables, Placeables, and Entities. First up on the tools is the Save button. After that, we have the Exit button that will bring us back to the overview. Select allows you to select stage components and edit various properties of them. The Delete tool allows you to print money. No wait, it actually deletes things from the stage. The Pause Play button allows you to choose whether physics and logic are currently being calculated. Additionally, when paused, you can use the arrow keys to move the camera around. Next is Grid mode. When grid mode is on, most of the things you build will snap to the chosen grid size. The size of the grid can be changed by using the scroll wheel on your mouse while this screen is active and grid mode is on. After that, we have the Move Player tool. The next 3 tools are only available in 3D mode, so we will be skipping them for now. The Rotate tool can be used to rotate selected components. And finally, the Blueprint tool allows you to place pre-made blueprints into the stage. You can select what blueprint is going to be placed underneath the tool buttons. Surprisingly, draggables are generally placed by clicking and dragging. While placing a draggable, a preview will be shown showing what the resulting addition will look like. Ground is the most basic level building tool, consisting of a colored rectangle. Hollow is the same thing as ground except without collision. These are meant for adding various decorations to your stage. Slopes are triangular ground pieces. The direction of the slope can be changed by pressing the R button. Hollow slopes are the same as slopes, but without collision. And finally, we have the Death Plane. This is a solid rectangle, always colored orange, that kills whatever is standing on top of it. Placeables make up the rest of the tools and can be placed in the stage with a single click. Each placeable has a special function, and most placeables are simple enough to understand. So I will only be going into detail for the more complex ones. The placeables include checkpoint, coin, finish line, interdimensional portal, logic button, sound boxes, and signs. Here are the details for the more complex ones. Signs can be selected with the selection tool, and their content can be changed from the selection tab of the toolbox window. Sound boxes can be selected with the select tool, and the sound they play can be chosen from the select tab of the toolbox window. Note the transparent box is only visible in the level creator. The use of logic buttons is covered in the logic tutorial, but they also use our friend the selection screen. And finally, interdimensional portals. This object allows players to travel between stages or within the same stage. To use, simply place it down, select the destination stage, then place the output portal on the destination stage. It is important to understand that the location the player ends up is not directly tied to the other linked portals. Rather, the player will be transported to the location the other portal was originally placed. Entities operate mostly the same as placeables as far as placement goes. At the time of recording, there was only one entity, but this will almost certainly change in the future. Moving on to 3D stages. We'll start by taking a look at what's different in the toolbox. The first tool you'll notice is the 3D tool. This can be used to manually switch between 3D and 2D mode. While in 3D mode, and the simulation is paused, the camera can be moved around using WASD, space, and shift. The rotation can also be changed using the arrow keys. You may notice that while editing the level, the rotation of 3D camera is not as limited as it normally is. Now that we are in 3D mode, you can also see the next two tools, Move and Size. These tools allow you to transform various components as you might expect. You may also notice a few tools disappear while going into 3D mode. The Exit to Overview button is only available in 2D mode, as well as the Select tool. All the transformation modes can be used in place of the Select tool in 3D. Additionally, portals can only be placed in 2D mode. There are two placeables that are exclusive to 3D mode. The 3D on and off switches. These are what allow the players to go between 2D and 3D in normal gameplay. One thing that you may notice is that there appears to be no way to place anything while in 3D mode. This is because we first need to place something solid in 2D mode. Now is a good time to circle back to the other functionality of the color selector page in the toolbox. You will notice that there are two more boxes at the bottom. These boxes represent placement depth and object depth of components placed while in 2D mode. Starting depth is the value used for positioning in the third dimension, while the total depth is how deep a draggable will be. The values in these boxes can be adjusted by using the scroll wheel on your mouse while the mouse is inside of these boxes. Once you have something to place other things on, you can use the new system of building in 3D mode. While in 3D mode, have the thing you want to place selected, in this case ground, then click on the object you want to place the new component on. You can then make use of the Move, Scale, and Rotate tools to place your new object exactly where you want it. Unlike all other things in 3D stages, the portal must be placed in 2D mode due to how they work on the back end. Moving a portal will not move where you appear when you get teleported to it. However, the portal itself can be moved around in 3D. To set the location of the portal on the third axis, use the starting depth box in the color selector. Now that we've finished going through all the tools in 2D and 3D stages, we can move on to the rest of the tabs in the toolbox. Under the Stage Settings tab, you will find the name of the stage as well as the sky color. To change the sky color, click on the colored square, then adjust the color to your desired color in the color selector. Once done, click on the Set Sky Color button that appears to the left of the Saved Colors box. Under the Level Settings tab, you will find the name of the level as well as settings for the level's multiplayer mode. If co-op is selected, then you'll have the ability to choose the minimum and maximum number of players that can be playing the level together. Additionally, when a stage is set to co-op, an additional option appears on the Tools tab. Above the tool buttons, you will see the ability to change what player you're currently playing as. This allows you to fully test the multiplayer features of your level. The last button in level settings allows you to respawn all entities that have died while you've been testing. The Variables/Groups tab will be explained in the logic tutorial. The final thing you need to do before your level can be played is to set the default stage. When on the overview, select the 2D stage you want to set as a starting point. Then click the button with the red diamond. You will then be asked to set the spawn location for the player in that stage. Simply click on the location you want spawn to be. And that brings us to the end of this tutorial. I hope you found this useful. Please feel free to leave a comment if you need any other clarifications or would like to add something to the discussion. As mentioned, there is an additional tutorial for logic in this game which can also be found on this channel and from the help button in the logic board editor.